Hey, intense workout?
Yeah, I just started the 75 hard and it is kicking my butt.
How's that 75 hard going?
It's okay, I made it 3.
3 days?
No, 3 hours, but I'm just gonna start again on Monday. Did you know 97% of people who start 75 hard crash and burn within the first month? But even the ones who finish usually end up right back where they started, burned out and slipping back into the same bad habits. The truth is, most of us don't fail because the challenge is too hard. We fail because it never teaches us reasonable habits that we can actually stick with. Let me ask you this. If you could spend the next 75 days building a body that feels strong, habits that feel automatic, and a metabolism that actually works for you, would you do it? After 30 years of starting over every January 1st with another extreme plan that only broke my heart by Valentine's Day, I have finally cracked the code on sustainable fat loss, which is building the right habits instead of jumping into every quick fix that I scrolled past. So in this video, I'll walk you through a different kind of challenge. Instead of going hard for 75 days straight, let's try something different and go soft. Because in my experience, the softer you go, the harder you get. Which doesn't sound like I'm gearing up for a health video, but stick with me. Because even though each habit you'll form seems way too simple to work, when you compound these habits over the next 75 days, that's when you build the foundation for a body that you've been chasing for years. But here's the first truth that's keeping you stuck in that same endless diet cycle. Most people think January 1st is when transformation begins. Here's what really happens when you go all in every new year. Once January 1st rolls around, you go from 0 to hero overnight and your body revolts. You force 2-hour workouts when you haven't moved in months. You slash calories to 1,200 when you were just eating 3,000 just days before. But that's not transformation. That's shock therapy for your metabolism. So how do you change this with the 75 Soft Challenge? You start your 75 days now, in October. That way, when everyone else is starting from scratch on January 1st, you'll already be months into forming new habits that already feel automatic. You'll finally be the woman who actually keeps her New Year's resolution because instead of waiting for the perfect start date, you just got started. But here's the second truth that no one wants to admit. Most people have no clue about how much they're actually eating. In fact, studies prove that we underestimate our intake by up to 50%. And that's not just some random number, since multiple studies confirm this. So when you refuse to track, you're just stuck in another guessing game, which is the exact reason that nothing works. That's exactly where I found myself when my scale just kept going up and I couldn't figure out why. I used to track everything I ate for breakfast and lunch. But by the time dinner rolled around, I always thought, that's good enough. And then I'd eat what I thought was a reasonable dinner. But my scale thought otherwise because it just kept going up. Once I started tracking, it turns out my reasonable dinners were sometimes 1,200 calories or more. To fix this, track everything before you eat. Notice how I said before, with a lot of emphasis. Because if you keep waiting to log your food for whenever you remember, all it is record keeping because you're not giving yourself the chance to adjust in real time. Taking that one pause, that moment where maybe you could use a little bit of a pick-me-up, but you decide to track first and you see that one handful of trail mix that you're about to devour adds up to 400 calories. That's the difference between actually getting results or wondering why your jeans got even tighter after 75 days. But awareness alone won't protect your metabolism, especially after 40 when you naturally lose 3 to 8% of your muscle each decade, which isn't just you losing strength and mobility. That's your metabolism slowing down, making every future dieting attempt even harder. During my keto phase, I was eating maybe 60 grams of protein a day. And I thought eating all of the fat was some magical fat loss cure. While I did lose weight, I also lost muscle, my metabolism completely crashed, and then I regained 50 pounds even faster than I lost it. But once you start prioritizing protein with every meal and snack, that's when this finally works. Build your meal starting with protein, aiming for a minimum of 30 to 35 grams with each meal. Then fill in the rest of your calories with carbs and fat in whichever amount keeps you feeling satisfied on less calories. If at the end of the day you're still not close to 100 grams of protein, just add 10 grams to each meal. Even just adding 1 or 2 ounces of lean meat can do exactly that. Because here's what most women don't understand. You think fat loss is just about eating less, but in reality, long-term success is about maintaining your muscle while the fat comes off. Protein is the insurance policy that protects your metabolism while you lose fat. But just tracking food and eating more protein isn't enough for most women. Most people think intense workouts are everything. But all of that huffing and puffing really only makes up 5% of your daily calorie burn. And if your workouts exhaust you, leaving you sedentary for the rest of the day, that's you throwing away 15% of your fat loss progress right down the drain. That's because moving more all day makes up a larger portion of your daily energy expenditure. But that doesn't mean you need to suddenly jump to 10,000 steps by tomorrow. Most people who try that quit in a week because it feels impossible if you're only starting from 2,000 or 3,000 steps a day. Plus, your feet will freaking hurt. Instead, just add 1,000 steps each week. So if you're averaging 3,000 steps right now, during week 1, aim to hit 4,000 steps most days. Week 2, find new ways to add another 1,000 steps so that you hit 5,000 steps most days. When you slowly work your way up like this, by week 8, you're at 10,000 steps and it just feels like what you do. This type of walking isn't about burning a huge chunk of calories all at once. It's about stacking energy use across the entire day instead of going really hard for 30 minutes only to burn out. Plus, the hidden calorie burn adds up to way more than you think. And it's the one form of movement that actually reduces stress instead of adding to it. But you also have to keep in mind that fat loss isn't just about what you eat and burn, because it's also about how your body feels. Because if you don't feel good, you are not moving off that couch for another 30-minute walk. If you're stiff, achy, and in constant pain, you will move less. And when you move less, you burn less, which becomes a downward spiral that most women over 40 know all too well. Which is exactly why I built 2 minutes of mobility 3 times a day into the 75 Soft Challenge. Instead of committing to weekly 30-minute yoga sessions that you'll just find new excuses to skip, make a habit out of tiny stretches, 1 to 2 minutes of hanging, and sitting in a squat position a few times each day. This will help you build a body that actually wants to move more instead of building more excuses that lead you to moving way less. I do my mobility work when I first wake up and then any time I get up throughout the day. It's like oiling the hinges on a door. Everything just works better. But even mobility won't protect you from the biggest fat loss mistake most women over 40 make, which is completely ignoring strength. Yes, cardio burns more calories during the workout, but building muscle keeps burning them long after you stop moving. It's like the difference between a campfire that eventually fizzles out and a furnace that runs 24/7. So if strength training isn't a daily habit yet, start today with even 5 minutes of bodyweight squats and knee push-ups. The important part is building a habit where you follow through every single day. Now, maybe you're thinking, really, Nissa, 5 minutes? How's that supposed to help? But if this isn't a habit that you've established by now, jumping into a 60-minute routine tomorrow that you'll actually stick with isn't happening. But committing to 5 minutes every day is how you go from 0 to consistent. And consistency is what actually transforms your body, not random bursts of intensity that leave you way too sore to move for the next week. But now that you know all of the habits that make up the 75 Soft Challenge, how are you supposed to track all this and stay motivated without completely losing your mind? I use a simple habit app where I log each habit as I complete it. So when I track a meal before eating, I tap the habit. Once I track all 3 meals, my app shows 100% completion rate. Same thing when I hit my protein goal, mobility breaks, strength training, and steps. Then the app shows my daily completion rate, which motivates me to do a little bit better the next day. Because unlike the 75 Hard Challenge where you have to completely start from scratch if you don't complete every habit? With this challenge, all of your effort counts, and it's up to you to make it count just a little bit more each day, which is how real life works. Building habits consistently over time leads to consistent progress over time. This isn't about suffering to reach goals that you'll never reach. It's about building a lifestyle that works for you, both on the good days and the bad. So you can wait until January 1st to start another extreme plan that you'll probably quit by Valentine's Day, or you can start today. 75 days from now, do you want to be someone who's still desperately searching for the next quick fix? Or someone who's finally mastered the habits that make fat loss simple? Let me know in the comments if you're ready to start your challenge now. I really hope to see you in the comments below so I know that you're on your way to a brand new you before 2026 even sees you coming.